You're listening to E-Commerce Uncensored with Kevin Manel and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. This is episode number 189. My name is Kevin Manel, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
So today we're going to talk about something that's been kind of, we've gotten a lot of comments. Actually, I don't know if you saw on our Facebook group this morning, someone mentioned that their ads are being affected. They feel like their ads are being affected by the election. And did you see that?
No, I did not. And I haven't been on Facebook because I've been doing some things I had to get done before this call. But it's something that I've really felt like is happening. And we spoke with someone else, from another agency, and they kind of said the election coupled with Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming, but I don't. From what I'm seeing on Facebook, it's not a Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday thing, because we went through this last year and I didn't see the same kind of things happening to our ads. But this year, the performance over the last month has significantly dropped.
Yeah, and this person was like, she was asking if anyone else has noticed a change, and she was in the skincare industry. She was like, I'm just surprised that my ads would be affected by the election. And I think it's across the board, everybody. And it's just like, it's an inventory thing, it's just a numbers game, basically, with the amount of ads that they're spending, the amount of money that they're spending. It's just increasing ad costs across the board. So we'll talk about that. Before we get going, we got to talk about Clavio.
Yeah, Clavio is, for us, it's definitely something that saves the day oftentimes. We were at Clavio Boston, I think it was like last year.
Yeah, last year around the same time.
Yeah, and every year that we go, it gets bigger and bigger. And we're like, man, these guys, it's just crazy the amount of growth they're having. And we just got an email from our rep over there, and she's like, yeah, now we're up to 50,000 customers. You said, what? You just said 30,000 a few months ago. It's insane how many people are using these guys. And, rightfully so. I mean, you see everything. We just signed up with a new client who we're working on their Clavio account with, and they've told us, like, straight up, like, this is our number one revenue generator, is getting leads, emailing people, and signing them up, whether it's e-commerce, whether it's lead. I mean, they're using it for their leads, but I mean, it just works.
Yeah, I mean, we always say, like, it's hard. Podcasting is kind of difficult because we can't necessarily speak directly to you guys, or we don't get feedback directly from you guys. But yesterday we got an email from somebody who actually, used our link, signed up because of us. And, they say, I'll just read it real quick. I got this up, and it says, now we're able to send emails and boost sales a few thousand a week from 17,000 subscribers. He also turned his brother-in-law into it, and his friend has 70,000 in his list, and always does about 3,000 or 4,000 when he sends out an email. He just said he sends out an email, makes $3,000 or $4,000. So it's nice to hear people who are actually listening to us and following us and doing, the Clavio thing, because it has a difference and it makes a change.
And if you're not using it right now, I mean, if you're not using it, I could almost guarantee, depending on how big your company is, because obviously I can't say that, make a blanket statement, but you're probably not having or getting enough data to make the right decisions. And that's kind of what Clavio does. I mean, Clavio is not a magical email platform or marketing platform. I mean, it's just like every other one, but the difference is they give you so much data that you can then make decisions about your emails. So if you go to clavio.com/uncensored, spell it, Kev.
KLAVIYO.com/uncensored. And with Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up, you got to start now. Get the pieces in place. Get ready for that.
Yeah, this is going to be a gigantic time. Now, we'll talk about Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up, but in the coming month. But Black Friday is starting a little earlier this year, especially with COVID.
Yeah.
And if you are running Facebook ads and you're not getting the results that you're looking for, you got to check out my course. Kevin and I are now offering 2 30-minute phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth, you can sign up. And what we'll do is we'll jump on a call with you for 30 minutes and review what you have or help you out with your offer or whatever. And then, a couple months later or a month later, whenever you're ready, we'll jump on another call and we'll review what's happening, see what's going on, look at your landing pages, and kind of help you. It's just like another way for us to be of service to you guys. So check that out, ecommerceuncensored.com/truth.
Cool.
Now, Kevin.
Love that.
Facebook ads. So I noticed like almost the day August 1st. I mean, because I literally remember this. I remember our ads were, kicking ass. We were doing really well. And then like all of a sudden, August 1st, I don't know what happened, but the ad cost started tripling. Our results started dropping. I mean, quite frankly, we went from making money to losing money.
Yeah, I tried to look back. I tried to think back to 2016 because obviously we had an election year that year, and I was trying to think back and try to remember like what it was like back then. And you really don't. We haven't had a year or an election year where we've actually had this type of ad spend. So to see, it's really hard to see that dramatic change when you're spending a couple $100 a day or something like that. But when you're spending $4,000 a day on ads, it's pretty easy to see that, okay, something's up here.
Yeah, I mean, even our lead generating ads, like our lead gen ads, usually like they convert at, let's say, like $2 $2.50, whatever,
$2 to $3. Yeah,
we'll
get an email
per sign up. What were they last when you looked at them?
6.
Right,
6.
that's double.
These are on purchase conversion ads. So it was, we've been running it for how long have we run? A year, maybe
and
10 months, and it's been consistent. $3, $2, and then immediately, like you said, August, September, up to $6. So, I started looking at it, I'm like, how is this possible? We didn't change anything. We were continuing to add different audiences like we normally would do, standard things. And I think the biggest thing you can look at is your CPMs. And I don't know that people always know that. That's like the number that will show you your increase in ad spend, because
it'll show you what it's costing you to put your ads in front of people. And if you've changed nothing, and this is where I got tipped off about the election affecting these things, is that if everything's considered, everything's the same, nothing has changed, and your cost to show your ad to 1,000 people has tripled, there is some sort of force outside of what you're doing that's affecting things. Now, like most people, we then turned our ads off and said, okay, let's figure out what's going on. Let's figure out why this is happening. Now, from what I could see, Kevin, I don't know how you're feeling about this, but I kind of feel like Facebook's algorithm got thrown out of whack with all the spend from the election. I mean, you have senators, you have people, House representatives, you have the presidential race. I mean, you have so many things going on that I feel personally like, because I feel like it's calming down a little bit, but it should be getting worse.
I looked at it this morning just to get some estimated numbers, and I don't really remember the website I went to, but they estimate $11 billion in social media ad spend for this year, and that's twice what it was in 2016, and that's crazy. And like I said earlier, for political, yeah. And I mean, you're not talking about just Trump and Biden; you're talking about every other political figure. You're talking about like, news outlets trying to put, I don't know if news outlets, but other political organizations pushing you to sway one way or another.
No, you got Trump, and then you got everybody who supports Trump, and you got people who support Biden, and then Biden himself, and then Kamala Harris. I mean, you have all these people like, eating up the inventory. And if you want to finish your thought, but I just want to say one thing is like, Facebook said after November 3rd, they're going to cut off all political ads. And they said it's because they don't want to confuse people. My guess is that they're losing money, even with that $11 billion spent. that's probably a lot. I don't know exactly what they're making. I probably should have looked that up, but it's probably less than what they would have if everybody else is spending like they normally would. Because I'm sure a lot of people are scaling back a little bit because, you spend $4,000 a day and you only make that back 1,000. You're going to run out of money really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely people are seeing that, and I think people, I think you have to look at it as a cost thing too. Like I wouldn't get so concerned that, oh, people don't want my product anymore or my offer's not working anymore and things like that. It's just a matter of, like I said earlier, is the numbers thing. It's like every fourth post in Facebook or every fourth story, every fourth Instagram is an ad. So just by pure numbers, the more people who are going for those ad spaces, the numbers have to go up. It's an auction, you gotta, and if you look at, I was thinking about it this morning and I was looking at some numbers again, like I do. I like to look at the numbers. I know, like to evaluate those things. And if you look at things that would show that your offer is still legit, like people still want your products, like things like your click-through rate, the percentages of things that wouldn't change just because costs have changed, right? So your click-through rate, because your ad's not being shown as much, but you're still getting the same click-through rates that you would normally, or your conversion rates. It's just costing you more because you're not being seen as much. Does that make sense, Jason?
Yeah, it makes absolute sense. So what did you find?
I found that they're all the same: click-through rates, conversion rates. I did that with our journal, with our online magazine. I'm like, we're getting the same amount of clicks. We're getting the same conversion rate on our opt-in forms. It's just a matter of the costs are tripled. So we're not acquiring as many email addresses on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, which in turn is hurting sales a little bit. I mean, we had our biggest month last month. We're on track to have our worst month.
Yeah. And I think it's coupled with the ad costs. I think there's also some uncertainty, with people and their money and their economy and things like that going on as well.
I think that's always I think that's always there for me. Why I think it's more the election in my head.
Like the cost increases, you mean?
No, it's just like the cost increases and the performance changes is that our email. I mean, like, look, Kev, we can get on here and talk about everything that's good all the time, and everybody gets this idea that we do everything perfectly and we never make mistakes and everything we do is just like magic, and it's not the case. I mean, even our email has been affected because these same people are sending out thousands and thousands and millions of emails. So our email performance has also dropped, and that's why, for me personally, I feel like there's more going on than just in uncertainty, because I feel like that's always there. I feel like for me, I feel like it's just that people are getting bombarded with emails and ads, and at this moment, it's kind of hurting things.
Dude, I made the mistake of signing up. I don't want to get political sided or anything like that, but I signed up for a text message platform. It was like text whatever to whatever, and I did that. Dude, I was getting 5 texts a day.
Yeah, dude, I donated to this young lady. I'm not going to mention any names, but I donated to this woman who's running for Congress or something. And dude, I'm not even in her district, and I'm getting emails every single day, over and over and over. I said, I can't even vote for you. I just sent her a little bit of money because I just liked her. So,
yeah, and the emails, same. You sign up for an email list for a campaign or something like that. It's like they're insane, the amount of communication you get. And emails, the same thing. As far as visibility goes, the more emails someone's getting in their inbox every day, the less visibility your emails are going to get.
Yeah, and so what we've done is we've taken a step back and we've tried to evaluate things, like Kevin has said. We're starting to like we have this business, we have this wildlife photography business. For the last year, it has been converting like crazy. We tell you guys all the time, we went from virtually zero to almost $2 million in 1 year. It's really easy to say, oh my God, I'm doing something wrong. I need to change everything. Sometimes it's not that, and in this case, it's one of those times where I think we just have to ride out the storm, so to speak.
I mean, we saw with COVID. I mean, COVID, we had the same kind of response. I know I was a little bit skeptical about it, but when COVID first hit, you could see a decline right away, like a quick drop because of the uncertainty. People were scared. People didn't know where their next dollar was going to go. But we knew that, this is going to turn around. People are going to get more confident with their money. And you just got to kind of ride the wave a little bit. With COVID, we were able to change our messaging to affect sales, to bring sales back up. But with this, it's like there's so many different outside influences happening, with the election and the political thing. And everybody's minds are clouded with that fake news and whatever. It's just constant bombardment of these political information. So it's tough to cut through that. So, from my standpoint, you got to stick it through. I mean, look at some of these numbers that would show that your offer still works, your product's still okay, your messaging is okay. But maybe think about, focusing on some email collection. Make sure you're spending money. You're spending a little bit more. So make sure when people get there, you capture an email. Like we said last week, turning some of this traffic that you don't control, which is this is a perfect example to show that you don't control it because Facebook is controlling the visibility of your ad. Make sure you turn that into, traffic that you can own through an email address or something like that.
Yeah. And then one other thing to that point is like, you're right, Kev, like you got to look at your click-through rates. You got to look at your conversion rates. If those numbers are all consistent across the board, then obviously there is something else affecting your ads. And that's how you have to look at these numbers sometimes. You have to say, you have to step back. And I know this is like, I know there are hundreds, if not thousands of you who are listening that are kind of feeling the same way. Like, man, everything's being affected right now. And what do I do? Do I panic? Look at those numbers. You'll find some solace in seeing that your click-through rates or your conversion rates are all the same. It's just costing you more money to get the same amount of traffic. So, my advice to you would be to do what we're doing. We're testing more. We're doing more A/B split testing to see if we can tighten up some of our messaging. We're trying new creatives, trying new copy. We're trying, some new things just to see if we can find something that's going to stick. But we're not changing our offer. Our offer is staying the same. That offer has worked forever for us. We're just trying to scrape, through or claw through this, this time that I think everybody is getting affected.
Yeah, and you got to remember on the other side of this thing is Black Friday, Cyber Monday, like we're going to talk about in a couple of weeks here. But build your audiences, build your email list. You got some very important high revenue days coming up in November. So just remember those. It's got to come back around for sure.
Yep.
All right, cool. And Clavio, like I said, you got to get these pieces in place for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Go to clavio.com/uncensored and sign up for a free trial. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.
And then go to ecommerceuncensored.com/truth and sign up for the Facebook call. As Kevin said, I mean, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming up. This is a really good time to get in that course. Not only will you get to talk to us and you can get our opinion on your specific offers and landing pages and all that good stuff, but you're going to start having to ramp up your ads for the holiday season. And I show you exactly how to do that in the course.
Yeah. And we don't mention it very often anymore. We got to join our Facebook group because there's a lot of great stuff going on in there. Go to ecommerceuncensored.com/Facebook to sign up for that. Like I said, we got a message in there this morning. So there's a lot of good conversations going on in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been episode 189. As always, you can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com. We'll talk to you guys real soon.
See you later.